Here's the most expensive mistake you can make with agentic AI. You have a process that is clunky, slow, and full of workarounds. Everyone on the team knows it. You have been meaning to fix it for years. Then someone says, let's automate it with AI. And instead of fixing the process first, you just automate it. What you get is a bad process running faster, at higher volume, and with less human oversight to catch the damage. That is not an improvement. That's scaling up the badness. This is the single most common reason agentic AI projects go sideways before they even get started, and it is entirely preventable if you do the process engineering work up front. At Prestera FX, before any AI work begins, we spend time getting the process right, because agentic AI can only be as good as the process it runs on. Here is what that looks like in practice. We break the process engineering phase into 6 brief steps. First, we help you select the right process to automate. There are so many processes to choose from. 3 criteria. It happens often, it matters to the business, and it is clunky to execute well. If it hits all 3, it is worth a closer look. Second, we define the current state, not as it appears in your SOPs or your process documentation, but as it actually runs today. That means mapping the workarounds, the handoff failures, the rework loops that everyone knows about but nobody has written down. We look at duration, time on task, quality, and reliability to get a baseline. Third, we define what does great look like. If this process were running perfectly, what would the outcomes be? We set specific measurable criteria before we go any further. Without that, you are flying blind. Fourth, we analyze the gaps between where you are and where you want to be and come up with ways to close those gaps. Fifth, we design the future state, leveraging what works and rebuilding what does not. And sixth, we architect the workflows. This is where AI agents enter the conversation. Based on the future state process, we create a blueprint, what we call a product requirements document, or PRD, that specifies which agents will be involved, what they will do, where the handoffs happen, and where human oversight sits. Everyone aligns on the PRD before a single line of code gets written. One more thing worth saying about project selection. When you are choosing your first agentic AI project, resist the temptation to go too big. Start with something smaller and well-bounded. If it works out, you can always add more to it. A fast, clean win on a smaller project is worth more than a heroic effort on something that takes longer and carries more risk. Earlier wins build internal support, strengthen team confidence, and earn you the right to go after higher stakes workflows later. Trust in the process has to be earned, and so does trust in the team building it. This is design principle number 1. Start with good process. Everything else in our methodology builds on it. Get this step right, and you dramatically increase your odds of being in that 5% that actually sees a return. The full white paper walks through all 6 steps in detail, with examples from a real agentic workflow we designed and deployed. The link is in the comments below.